Hello, it's Luke Michael Howard, PhD and consulting hypnotist here. And I'm going to do a self-swan video today. And the swan videos that I've made in this series, that this video and the other swan video is going to be linked underneath or following this video, have been my most popular videos to date. I don't know what it is about these videos, but people are watching them, people are eating them up. So please remember to like, share, comment on these videos, any questions you may have. The Swan technique is a form of self-hypnosis using idiomotor signals. I did not invent this. I believe the credit to that goes to a man called Bob Burns with a lovely Scottish accent out there. If I bring any originality into it, it's just combining a few techniques together, playing around with it actually. So I'm going to walk you through a self-swan. And listen, I'm going to tell you right now, it looks silly. It looks really silly. It looks kind of dumb. I'll be honest with you, it does. I'm not going to try and hide it. And even though I do hypnosis, I am very black and white. I'm very into just the facts. I'm actually quite logical myself, which tends to not make me the best hypnotic candidate in the world. Not because I can't be, but because sometimes I get in my own way. It's always the way, right? But it's actually something I'm working on. I'm a great hypnotist, but I actually want to be a better hypnotic candidate for myself to get these amazing changes I get in my clients. And one of the tools I've been experimenting with, playing with lately, has been this Swan technique. So I don't know if something's going to happen today. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know if something's going to happen. Maybe something's going to happen with this technique. I'm going to show you. Maybe nothing happens. But I go into it with a clean slate of if something happens, beautiful, and if nothing happens, beautiful, because I'm going to learn something from it. And as I'm actually teaching it, as I'm doing it to myself, should I say, I'm actually going to be teaching you how to do it to yourself. And it's very, very simple, very, very easy. And I'm going to do a little recap with you at the end. So the reason it's called a swan is essentially you kind of put your hand in a position like so, kind of like it's like a swan face, a swan head, a swan beak, a swan in general. And we kind of start off with just the hand kind of relaxed like so. And from time to time I'm going to be talking to my hand. I know it looks ridiculous, but I promise I will come back to you. I'm not being rude, I'm not ignoring you. I will come back and talk to you later, but you can watch what I'm going through, and then like I said, I'll give you a recap at the end of the day. So please don't think I'm being rude if I am not looking at you and I'm looking at my hand, as weird and as crazy as it seems. I wondered, my unconscious, if you could just twitch one of my fingers for me, just to give me a sign that you're there. And I wonder if you could give me that twitch a little bit more, please. Thank you. Talking to you now, I know it may have been hard to pick that up because the camera, and it's hard to do everything at once. But I had two movements, two twitches from my right index finger without me consciously controlling it. And remember, I'm not the best candidate for self-hypnosis myself. This is why I'm working on it. Thank you very much, unconscious, for cooperating. I wondered if you could take control of my hand, my wrist, my forearms, and all the tendons in between, and start to turn my hand and wrist towards me now. So my fingers start to face me at a complete unconscious level. Thank you, unconscious. Now I know that seems a bit weird. I don't know how much you're picking up with the camera there. My hand and my fingers are facing me now, and I promise you I did not consciously move it. I asked it to move and I didn't do it consciously. Thank you, unconscious, for cooperating. I really, truly appreciate it. I wonder if you could say hi to me now by taking control of the fingers and the hands, and perhaps giving me a wave with the hand, with the forearm, just to let me know that you're here and just to say hi. I wonder if you could do that. And I wonder if you could make that movement just a little bit bigger for me now, please. And I wondered if you could take full control of my hand, my fingers, my tendons and my skeleton in my hand and wrist, and just say hello by waving, whether that's a finger or two, by shaking the wrist, by lifting up the hand in some way that I know that you are saying hi and that you're there, if that's okay with you. Thank you so very much. So it kind of waved there, which was a bit weird. Some people's movements will be a little bit bigger. It was a small movement. The next thing to do is I need to set up a yes finger or a yes signal and a no signal. Remember, the unconscious mind is very literal. So when you're asking for no, you have to clarify that it's no as in N-O and not no, K-N-O-W. Unconscious, can you just give me a clear signal by controlling the finger, by controlling the wrist, by making some movement that will now signify yes when I ask you a question? And could you give that again to me, please? Thank you. So my hand actually retracted back a little bit. I wasn't sure, the movement wasn't very big, so I asked for it to do it again, and it did. So I've got a yes signal now. Next step is I need to set up a no signal. Unconscious, can you give me a different clear signal by moving a finger, by moving a hand, by controlling the wrist or forearms that signifies no for me, please? And can you give me that signal a bit more, please, a bit bigger? Thank you. So I got a slight movement, a little turn from one side to the other there for a no there. So that's what you need. You need a yes, you need a no, because that's what our work's going to be based upon right now. And you could do this with yourself after. And again, I'm going to break down the steps for you logically, step by step for you logically minded people out there, kind of like myself. But yeah, this is kind of difficult for me because I can feel that while filming it, I'm having to switch off my conscious mind when I get back to the hand. So this is not the ideal way of doing it. It's going to be a lot simpler when you do it on your own and you don't have to demonstrate it. Unconscious, I've been having a challenge recently. I have been pulling out some of the hair around my beard. It's an annoying habit. It's unconscious. I'd like to stop doing that. Would it be okay to stop doing that? Thank you. Could you give me that signal again so I can just make totally clear that it's okay with you? Thank you. So it's true, I do have that issue. It's a bit embarrassing, but sometimes I pull out the hair around my beard. It's the problem of having a beautiful, luscious beard out there. I got a yes. Unconscious, could you come up with 20 to 25 alternatives to do instead of me doing that old habit, and just let me know when you're done by giving me the yes signal? Could you give me that signal a little more, please? Interesting, my unconscious mind gave me a no. It doesn't want to play ball right there. Okay, sometimes that happens. This is real. It's a live video we're shooting here. So I'm going to have a little talk with my unconscious mind and reframe it a little bit. Unconscious, I know you're very smart. I know you control everything. I know your #1 prime objective is to keep me healthy, to keep me safe. And understand that by chewing hair from my mouth and potentially swallowing it sometimes by accident is perhaps not the healthiest thing in the world to do, and it's not good for my digestive system, and it's not good for my luscious beard. Knowing that now, would it be okay to stop doing that now and to do something else more positive and advantageous, to have the same needs met but by doing another activity? Yes or no? Could you give me that signal a bit bigger, please? I got a yes that time. I reframed it for you NLPs out there. Great. So we've got that set up now. We've got the twitch, we've got the turn, we've got a little wave, we've got a yes finger, we've got a no finger, we've got cooperation to work on the problem, we've got agreement, it's okay to work on that problem. Now I need to set up a time frame, because if I get cooperation from my unconscious mind, it's very literal, but I don't give it a start or end date, it might not start the work for 10 or 20 years, and that will be no good to me, because then I will have no hair on my face and I will not look beautiful anymore because I would have pulled it all out. So I need to have a time frame. Would it be okay to think of 20 to 25 different alternatives that we can do instead of that now? Yes or no? Thank you. I got a yes. I went for it twice because I wasn't sure the first time. Could you go ahead now and try one of the new alternatives on? Go into the future, imagine doing the alternative, and just let me know when you're done by giving me the yes signal, please. Thank you, I got a yes. Would it be okay to try that new alternative for the next few weeks, yes or no? Thank you, I got a yes. And if that is the right alternative, to do that for the rest of my life, and if it isn't, to choose one of the other from the 25 other alternatives you generated, yes or no? Thank you, I got a yes. Could you start that work now, yes or no? I got a yes. And could you have it completed within the next minute, yes or no? I got a yes. And could you keep that change permanent if that's the right thing for me, yes or no? Thank you. I'd like to thank you, unconscious mind, for all the work you've done today. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. It's good to thank your unconscious mind, because you might not have done it before, and it does an awful lot for you. It makes you breathe. It breathes you. It sends blood around your body. It's responsible for your endocrine system, for your hormone system. It's responsible for your memories, for your feelings, your emotions, for your patterns, for body movement. It does so much. Now, some people think that my hand just goes this position and it falls in, as in the fingers face towards me, because the position of my elbow. So, unconscious, I'd like clear imperial evidence that that's not the case. So unconscious, I'd like for you to take control of the hand, the wrist and the forearm, and take the fingers away from my body so they point back away from me like they did at the beginning of today's session. If you could do that now, that'd be great. Weird, and honestly I'm not consciously controlling this now. It's a little bit weird for me as well. Thank you so much, unconscious mind. I appreciate all the work you've done. You can relax now. Thank you. So there you have it. That's the Swan. Very, very simple. Sometimes people think, well, it's so simple it can't work. I don't know if it's going to work, is the truth. I've been demoing it with some clients recently, some people that I know, some friends. They're actually reporting amazing things, and amazingly weird and wonderful things are happening to them in the session when we do it. Everyone gets a twitch, a turn, a wave. We get a yes finger, we get a no finger. Even if they're consciously trying to fight it, stuff happens. So how do you do it for yourself? I promised you I'd break it down. Probably a good idea that you watch it again and you watch this video as an instructional video the subsequent times after you watched it the first time, me doing it to myself. But the steps are like this. You take a hand, you ask for a twitch, you get a twitch. I'm playing along now, this is me consciously controlling it. You then are, but you would wait for a real twitch, as I did initially. You'd ask for a turn. Again, I'm consciously controlling this now because I've already demoed it to you unconsciously. You'd ask for a wave. A wave might be like that, it might be like that. It doesn't matter, you're just looking for a movement, an honest unconscious movement. Then you'd probably want to set up a yes and a no signal for some people. That might be a yes, an index finger, your middle finger might be a no, a yes might be like that, and a no might be like that. It's usually different things to different people. There's no right or wrong way, you just want a clear yes and a different clear no signal. You want to ask if it's okay to work on your issue, wait for a yes or a no. If it's yes, proceed. If it's no, perhaps you do something else, or come and see me because it's a bit more complex at that point. And then you ask if it's okay to work on that problem, if it's okay to have some alternatives for you to do instead of doing that old problem. Again, it's not a conscious exercise, It's not a conscious masturbation exercise. You don't have to consciously know what those 20 or 25 alternatives are. I don't, but I ain't controlling the show consciously. My unconscious mind is. You get a yes signal for when it's done. You then ask for the work to begin. Then you get a yes when it's done, and you ask, for example, if it's okay for it to be done and completed in the next minute. If you get a yes, great. If you get a no, take it out for the next hour. If you get a yes, great, work is done. If you get a no, for the next day. If you get a yes, great. If you get a no, take it out to 2 days, to a week, to a month. Sometimes you might get a no for something you consciously want to change, but it's not a no to the work going ahead. It's just a no to the work going ahead now in the next minute. But if you put another time frame around it, oftentimes things change. So you frame it in such a way until you get a yes, and then when you eventually get a yes, to close it, you might ask your unconscious mind to take control of your hand, your wrist, your fingers, and to actually turn your hand away, but only to do it seriously if it's going to let the changes happen. Again, I'm doing this consciously now because I've already done it unconscious earlier on. So your hand then faces away and you relax the hand. So that's just one use of the Swan that you can use. Watch this video again. Follow the instructions. Please do comment on the video. Please do like it, and please do share it, because I make these videos for you as instructional videos to help you out in your life, to have more control of your unconscious mind, to have more happiness, joy, and successfulness in your life. I've been Luke Michael Howard, consultant hypnotist of Hypnosis. Always believe.